Welcome to Together We Rise,
starring mother-daughter dynamic duo Alicia Schwartz
and Rochelle Schwartz,
in collaboration with MAPS Global Events. Signing off.
Mwah.
Hi, everybody.
And welcome. We are so happy to be here this evening. I keep on fading in and out.
That's because when you move, it's
I
weird.
know.
Okay.
So welcome to Together We Rise.
We're back again,
We
are so excited because we have two amazing women who we have the fortunate privilege, really, and honor to know them so well. We've traveled together. We've had fun together. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're a mother and daughter just like we are. And they have a great background about who they are and what they do. And we're going to bring them on. And
yes,
we're going to let you hear them and experience them for yourself. So here we go. What were you going to say, Rosh?
No, I was wondering if Nim was going to play the
video. Nim, are you going to play our video for us? Nim, I think Nim left. Okay, well here, she's back. Okay. So we are just going to go right into, I think, or maybe not.
Yeah, no, we are.
We're going to go now talk to Natalie and Julie. So come on up.
And you know what? Also, before you guys start talking,
but they're not up on the stage.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Oh.
Nim, are you there?
Nim.
There they are. Hi, girls.
Oh, I can sing an opening. I can sing a song. Together
I know
we
you.
rise. Together we rise.
Okay.
That worked.
Wasn't that cool?
You brought it on, Natalie, by saying that is so true. Okay, so go ahead.
So before we start, I always love to read something. It just sets the pace. And then at the end, I love to read something or Alicia will read it. And of course, it's out of Debbie Ford's book, Your Holiness. Mm-hmm. And this is what it says. It's in awe of the potential of the human spirit. I'm standing in the greatest and grandest version of myself. I'm basking in the magic of the universe. Drenched in the good vibrations of God's love. Hallelujah. The light side of me is now on.
Ooh, I love that.
Isn't it cool?
I'll take a picture of it and send it to you.
Yeah, we'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am so excited to have you guys. And, they're not, at least from my knowledge, many mothers and daughters who are in the same work, similar anyhow. And I know that stories are so important for people to feel that there's hope when they hear other people's stories and their trials and their tribulations and how they maneuvered and got through and still work on themselves, because it never ends.
Nope.
It never ends. But it's such a pleasure to have both of you on. So would you like to introduce them, my love?
No, you're doing a great job. I think you should keep going, Rochelle. I think you're doing great.
So what we really want people to know is a little bit background of the both of you. So whoever wants to start, either Julie or Natalie,
Take the floor.
take the floor. And
Mama Jules, you can go.
I was just going to say I always go first, so I was going to turn it to you. But you know what? I picked something that Rochelle out of my little file today that I tell teens, especially today, and parents that are trying to do coupleship plus work plus be parents, the whole works. I have so much love and absolute courage for myself and for the world when I talk to these people that are doing something about it. So you mentioned Debbie Ford, and what Debbie Ford really did for me is to help me see the light through the darkness, and the darkness wasn't bad. You just had to go into the darkness. And I think of today, the caves. Where do you find diamonds? Well, you find them in the rough, you find them in the caves. And if I went into the cave, I wouldn't know a diamond from whatever, but someone who works with diamonds is going to go right in and know that all the dark pieces in there that are diamonds. So I always think about that. And so this is something that a teen gave to me. Close your eyes if the world hurts. When it seems to be moving in reverse, can you stay open so spirit can come through? You are not broken. You are just coming back to you. Keep looking. There is light somewhere. Stay open. There is light here somewhere. Even in the darkness, stars shine and there is starlight. Remember, there is light here. Open wide is your world birth. Every ending a beginning in reverse. Maybe tomorrow you will understand today. Maybe your sorrow paved the way into a brand new day. Keep looking. There is light somewhere. There is light. That actually was given to me by a teen. Wow. And living in the darkness in a family. And so that's what I do, is I literally hold the light space for myself, my family, everybody, friends, but especially for children and parents today that are trying to pave their way into everything going on out there. So the light's, to me, where we're all going to find that peace, and what you represent. Stand up together.
Yeah, that's true. And did you ever think that your daughter would be doing therapy as well and go into this as well?
Actually, no. I always thought she would be in the arts and creative world, but in reality, a therapist deals with the arts and the creative world, because we've constantly got to be looking for some new way to find the space with our clients. So I am so excited and proud of her. You know, she's the love therapist. I'm the hard ass. She's that works with the addictions and a lot of other different things, but she really works with seeing the light in love with everybody. And she's not afraid to laugh and bring fun and play to it too.
No
That
kidding.
is for sure. That is the one thing we love about both of you. But Natalie, you're dancing and you're singing. I mean, you just
we laugh.
you make us pee.
Yeah,
Seriously.
we just
I learned it from my mama
I know.
I bet you did.
and a very funny dad as well.
I'm sure. We are so excited to have you guys, because we're like, yay, they're going to be so much fun, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what you bring.
Yeah,
you bring
you
the
do.
light. You
And
bring
boy,
the fun.
we need this so desperately in this world today.
Like
that-
100 megawatts.
Yeah, totally.
Really and truly. So one more question, Julie. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been a therapist?
Ooh, 50 years almost.
Wow.
45, 50 years I've been working with children, families, women, and men. And men, not just in the world of addictions and loss, but really in the world of what I consider myself is, and my corporation is, life skills and strategies. People just don't know what to do differently. They haven't learned. All of us, we're constantly looking for new skills to deal with what's going on.
Yeah.
It's really been around forever with different stories, different ways, but the same thing, trying to find love for ourselves and to be love and to find love out there shining around us too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can ask you so many questions,
Me
but
too.
we're gonna
I mean, really, it's
There's
like,
so
oh,
many
wow. We could have a
amazing-
therapy session.
You're well covered here.
Oh, I know
I
that.
think we are. That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. But I guess one question before we let Natalie talk and share about herself is, do you feel like, because you've been doing this for 50 years, do you feel that I kind of know the answer, but I don't know the answer because I'm not a therapist. But do you feel that because of the way the world is moving and the way that it's moving, do you feel that the issues are the same or deeper or more complex, or is it pretty like themes, they all have this similar themes? I just was wondering, have you noticed any differences?
Funny you should ask that. Natalie told me, Mom, she's always saying, don't do that. It's too long. This is too short, whatever it is. I think the answer to that one is in, and I was hoping you would ask something like that, because people think the world is different today. To me, we're going to heal when we heal our homes. It's not about out there in the world, whether it's politics or government or whatever it is. It's really in our homes, because that's where we learn the skills for life, or don't learn them. So this actually was written 20 years ago by a teen that I still see, who's married today, has a beautiful family. But at 14, this is what she wrote. I use poetry. I've always used poetry and arts with my clients, and especially the teens. This is what she wrote. If you think the world is different, just listen to the battlefield. Numb. She sits and stares. Home is where her heart lies, in pieces, but never for too long. Shattered glass dictates the tile floor, commanding her to see the truth. This mental abuse destroys the girl within her from a faraway place, where towels are shoved under her door to muffle the screams. Her home is a war zone. She struggles for sanity, gazing through the window, desperate for an escape. This war is endless. Each broken bottle cuts deep into her skin, damaging only the interior, battling for love. Remembering how alone she is, she waits for peace. This war is all she knows, incapable of love, controlled by the glass. I sit and stare numb. Mm-hmm. Now at 14, now I can tell you she's in her 30s. She is huge in the world of working with students in colleges. And she said, I never felt like a child. I suppose that growing up with an alcoholic father can do that to you. And then she describes, just living in that. But she says, I just didn't understand it. From across the street, we looked like the model family. Mm-hmm. Her mother was very successful career. Her dad owned his own business. We lived in a wonderful house in a beautiful gated community, took 2 vacations a year. The only thing missing was a dog, and so she said she'd get angry. A day would go by, it would get better, and then boom, again, the attack again, a lot of violence. Mm-hmm. So this has not changed. Yeah. This has been going on in civilizations forever, in the homes, because I believe we just don't know how to do it differently. And people have not learned what to do and choose addictions or love or anything just to feel better, and try whatever they can, and, and just continue that, and unless someone intervenes or something happens, it's a crisis. Yeah. So what I can say is this was where she was. Today, she is a healed, healthy woman leading the world and teaching other students how to survive in their own lifetimes and whatever. So when you ask me that question, I say, no, nothing has changed. Yeah. What has changed is I think there's more anxiety than I've ever seen in my life, fears, and that type of but of course, if you look at other countries, people are going through fear every day, and battles and wars and things like that. So it's really inside us human beings. And, and I think what we all need to find is a mentor that helps us not only feel the feelings, but shows us ways that we can heal and express those, and then be able to look out in society with a different view in the light. So I think that's what we're always doing. And no, I don't think it's changed. I think the stories are a little different but I think we're still struggling to try to bring peace and love and healing our homes, because inevitably that's what's going to change society.
Amen.
Amen, boy. All right.
Yeah, that's so great.
Mm-hmm. And that's great, because I work pretty tough things, because they're dealing with a lot of stuff. But the interesting thing is what Natalie does to me is the end result of where we all want to be. We want to be able to learn new skills, especially with radical forgiveness. But the point is, the end stage is when we can get to compassion for others and see maybe something different than what was there before. We can see the criminal as a hurt little boy or hurt little girl or whatever it is. But I so love the fact that she's a beam of love, and that compassion is what's going to heal the world.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go.
Natalie,
Natalie.
let's
Yeah.
share you now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie.
Well,
Thanks, Julie.
yeah, I'm very blessed to have parents that, like my mom, like that. My dad's also very spiritual and modeled lots of kindness and compassion. And yeah, that brought me to be a theater, not a theater. I was on the road to becoming a theater person. And along the way, I found, through lots of darkness, I found Alicia, right? As my mentor, becoming a coach through Debbie Ford. I mean, how cool is this that we're sitting here like this now?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It
like
is pretty
where I
cool.
was and where I am now. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm a therapist. Yes. Yeah. So I work with lots of, mainly adults, and I work with lots of grief and anxiety, self-esteem, inner child work. Like my mom said, I'm a big love bug. So it's definitely a light-filled session, but also embracing all the dark and all of the things, because it's very hard to be a human right now, right?
I agree with that,
Yeah.
boy.
Mhm.
In all my life, I haven't seen the world
It's so
like
funny
this.
because also us both being a coach, I'm also a massage therapist, and whew, I tell you, it's
Yeah.
much harder today. I'm 49, and I started 25 years ago, right? When I started the coaching stuff. And I will tell you, I said to my mom today, it is harder today
Yeah.
than ever before, because
The energy.
you're working, right, with the body and the body.
Mhm.
So there's a
Yeah.
lot
And I'm also based in New York. And so New York definitely has had a lot of there's
Yes.
just a lot that's happened here. So I feel really grateful to have been able to be a therapist during this time, and I prayed for so many years when I was kind of a lost little Natalie, to be guided to using my skills at their highest. And I think that's what I'm doing. So yeah.
amazing.
Do you do therapy over the internet?
Yeah, I do virtual. Mm-hmm.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
cool.
super.
That's awesome. Yeah. Rather than going to an office and face to face. And today, that's what's so great about that. You can just do it right here, right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It works with my clients, and I check in with them about it. And also there's something like I get to see their pets, and I get to see a different part of them than I might see them when they show up to the office, kind of put together. I get to see where they really are, right? I get to see
that's
it.
true.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That is a good
So
point.
the two of you, through this pandemic that we are out of, did you stay with your mom, or
I did.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I did. I got to go and be in North Carolina for 6 months.
Wow.
And we had Julie and Natalie, the offices of Julie and Natalie Considine.
It's like the door. One swings this way and then swings that way. You go to the
I do the early shift, and she does the late night shift.
night shift.
And then we had the grandchildren and my son and his wife, and they were going to school and working, and so I got to see the inner workings of parents on there, and also the children, trying to survive it. And the one thing I'll say that I see is so powerful with COVID, it allowed people to reach out for therapy that, one, may not have gone for it, or number two, were scared to show up in an office and tell their life or to begin to bond or trust. I think it has given it away because they feel safe in their own homes for the most part.
Yeah.
And they can share in a place. They can hold their cuddly bunny or their cat or their dog, or I have them sometimes hold their animals, or so. I mean, I think we both have gotten to see such a different phase of that. And I would say today I have the dream job. I have always wanted to work, not with the problem cases, although I do work with the problem cases too, but I always wanted to have healthy families come in to get coaching. And this is what's happened today. I now have healthy couples in their 30s and 40s reaching out with their children because of COVID. and just saying, will you work with children? I thought, well, how am I going to do that? I get on the floor with the kids. How am I going to do this virtually? Well, I take them at 4 years of age, and we have a session once a month, the children, and they learn how to communicate. They learn how to talk. We talk about bullies. We talk about all the things going on in their lives. And then usually I'm working with the parents separately, or maybe we're doing a couple's work. And then maybe we'll have the whole family sit down in the living room and we'll play a game, and I'll be on mine and they have theirs. And we laugh, and we may draw pictures and share. We do all kinds of things that I never dreamed you could do on virtual. You know, how was I going to do this? And instead of the kids playing with something in my office, I tell them, well, take out your Legos, you know, and as they're playing, children will tell you, they'll talk about anything.
Yes.
If you tell them, get out your favorite bunny and hold it, or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden they share. So it was very new to have to learn how to work with clients that way. But I think it's giving us a gift that people are now reaching out that maybe never would have reached out, and continue feeling that safety to be able to express in their own homes. Like Natalie said, we get to see them in a whole different environment.
Yeah, that is a gift of the pandemic. I would agree, because so many people now are, you know, you hear it all the time, more about people's story coming out with anxiety, and, you know, even the newscasters. I think it was Carson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carson Daly. And
yes.
just a lot of different people came out and talked about their addiction, or their anxiety, or depression, or so it's not making it like weird anymore, or something's wrong with you. It's part of life. Which is so good. Okay, so we have a question. Okay,
get ready.
And
hold on tight.
I'll ask, let's say, Natalie, and then Julie, you can share after. So, because this really helps. Why do we do this podcast? Right. Because we want to help people see that they can go through these things and get to the other side. And people like you, who have done their work and continue to help all those people in the world that need a way through. So we're so happy that you guys are here. Okay. So what's the biggest lesson you learned about yourself?
So I guess, well, I learned that life is two main things that I didn't know when I was like in my 20s. My 20s were a time of like drinking a lot and feeling very dark, and I had an eating disorder, and I just really hated myself. I just didn't like myself. I didn't like my body. I felt I had to try and be this funny girl, and try to be something that I wasn't. And then through the help of Debbie Ford, I learned that, you know, to stand in my light. And I think she asked me, God, I don't even remember what it was, but it was something about like, catalyst for light in the world, and love in the world. And I was like, I can't be drinking and be doing all these things to myself if I'm going to be that in the world, right? I knew that I wanted to be of service, but first I have to be of service to myself. So I just celebrated 11 years sober.
Woo! That's amazing.
And
good job.
Also in recovery from my eating disorder. But what the lesson is that I can have, and I think when you were just sharing the Debbie Ford, the thing in the beginning, the thing about what was it, like the being the best version of yourself, or being something about that, about standing in like the highest version of yourself. It just made my face, like, it made my heart warm up, because I feel like I'm in that right now.
Yeah.
Where I am able to, like, I didn't know that life was going to be so fun, like that, being sober. Like you could have as much fun as I do. And then the other thing is also learning that my size, like my worth, is not dependent upon my size. Like I put on weight, and I'm like the happiest I've ever been with that. And it's just a really freeing experience, and I'm really grateful for it. So yeah.
And I love seeing your pictures in your bathing suits.
Oh, yeah.
It's so inspiring. It really is. I think what you were saying before was I'm standing in the greatest and grandest version of myself. That was part of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I'll take
I
a
feel
picture.
like that. And life is really hard. And yes, I have my own anxiety and my own struggles and my own thing, but I'm so centered on like my purpose and
Mhm.
like my love for myself. And I'm so kind and compassionate. And I just, the journey has been hard, but it's also been just really amazing.
How do you like? I grew up with Twiggy, and I always love food. So what should I say? I only had maybe her eyes, not even as big as that. But other than that, and then that's what you wanted to emulate. You know, all of those, you know, the models, and it's different today.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's a
then,
lot more like, I mean, it's all still such a part
oh
of,
yeah,
I mean, almost every female that I have that comes into my sessions has some sort of disordered eating or a
Really?
history
Yeah.
of some, and even if that's not what they're coming to, they'll still make a comment, or they got that from their mom saying, you know, something about oh, are you sure you want to eat that? Or like, so there's a
Right.
lot of like deprogramming of that
Yeah.
that I really love.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really
Mhm.
cool.
that is.
All right, Julie, same question. What's the biggest lesson you learned about yourself? Thanks, Natalie, for sharing that.
Okay. You know, I've never been afraid to tell the truth. And yet there was one part of my life I could never tell the truth about. And it's so funny that Natalie would open with what she just said. I had no idea what she would say. And of course, my daughter would probably struggle with loving her body or whatever, because I struggled with that. And I've never been ashamed to be able to say, I am a recovering anorexic and bulimic. And I had stopped binging and purging for about 25 years when I got married. And then when I went through a divorce, a painful divorce, I began binging and purging again in secret. And Natalie kept saying, I know what you're doing in there. And I'd say, no, you don't. And lying straight to her face. And one day she banged the door down in the bathroom and she said, see, you are, you know, you're binging and purging. And I said, yes, I am. And she said, you're going to die. And I said, yes, I probably will if I don't do something about it. And so we gave each other a promise in our lives where I would never lie about that again. And that no matter what, no matter how much shame or fear or whatever it was stopping me, that if she asked me, I always had to. And this is one thing I tell my clients that are in recovery with alcohol or drug addiction or whatever. If your child asks you every day for the rest of your life, are you sober today, Mom? Quit getting so pissed off at them, because they're trying to learn how to trust again, because once trust is broken, it's so difficult to reestablish it. And so if you have to tell them every day, proudly look at them and say, no, I didn't drink today, unless you did or whatever.
Right.
So it's something that I was not doing that I was teaching my clients to do. So I had to take a hard look on, am I walking the walk that my clients are walking? And I went away to treatment, and I was afraid I was going to lose my practice. And especially with the divorce, I had 2 offices. I was afraid I wouldn't have clients. And once they found out, so I went and told the truth to my clients and said, listen, I lost myself here. I don't know where you are.
You're still
Can you hear
there.
me? Here.
Yeah, I see you.
Now you're going.
Oh no. The technical.
It's
Come
okay.
on back. Come on back, Julie.
Come on, Julie. Julie just hit the wrong button. So, you know,
She's leading you on quite the cliff notes.
Yes, a
I mean,
cliffhanger.
not the cliff notes, but
Like
quite
cliffhanger.
the cliffhanger. Yes,
Yeah,
in that.
totally cliffhanger. So
But
yeah,
just to speak to how incredible my mom is like she modeled for me healing I think we're really special in that, like our relationship in that, and in what we've mirrored in each other, my life, how it's mirrored hers, which, you know, if it, the good and the bad, but like if it does, and I get to be like a 79-year-old woman traveling the world, coaching, doing that's the vision I have for myself, right? Is that, but in that, and what she was just sharing about though, was that like I helped her to move I knew what she was doing, and I helped her to move through that. But then in my 20s, I then was doing that. And I remember being with my therapist and coming to the place where I realized that I had to share with her because I felt so shameful because she would go and tell her clients on all of how I saved her life. And then that was like another level of shame for me because I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so the second I told her, like, oh, the freedom, like, oh my gosh. And we've always been open and honest about that ever since.
You know, it's funny. I totally get why we all connected from the beginning of time. I mean, it's so funny because your relationship with your mom is parallel in a lot of ways, right? We're coaches, we're not therapists, but she got into Debbie's work and then I followed. And, you know, all of this same things I couldn't stand about her, I had to look at myself. And, you know, it's pretty cool to have that kind of dynamic. We're lucky. We're lucky.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
are. Do you have any mothers and daughters in your practice that work with you?
I know, like that I see, or
Yeah.
no, I see. It's primarily like I see women mainly like in their 30s, 20, 30, 40s. And it's mainly them sharing about their women, their moms who had the old conditioning and the old things that then was passed on to them. And then I teach them, and I teach women now about like not talking about your weight. Like, don't talk about your weight. Don't talk about other people's weights. You never know if someone lost weight because they're sick or all of
you don't know their story.
You never know someone's story. So I model that for mothers now to then say how we don't speak about that. We speak about bodies are healthy and strong, and that's what they're there for. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so empowering. I mean, you could do a whole series on that. Really. I mean, just the whole thing about body, you know, and how attached we are in this world about attachment to the body. Do you know? It's amazing to me. You know, it really is. Someone that works with the body, I've got to see my own attachment to the body. And now I'm learning to totally detach from the body.
But I think in COVID, there was just such a thing of like, I mean, everyone's, I put on weight, I did this and so much shame about it. Or you either got the perfect body because you're working out all the time and all of this stuff. And it just is like, we're healing from a super traumatic event. Can we just give ourselves some grace? Right.
Totally.
Like,
true. It is true. It is.
You know, and that's the thing one thing, and then you could, that's the thing I do love about you, Natalie, that I learned from you too a lot, is that just the grace, you know, just to give yourself a breath, just to be, you know, so it's great. You know, you learn from me and I learned from you, right? I mean, that's what it's about. We all learn from each other, really, you know?
Do you find that one of the biggest challenges for, I kind of want to say everybody, but maybe more women, to what that feels like to come back to themselves, to love?
Like their whole body,
not even their body,
just
love
themselves.
how they need to come back and take care of themselves and love themselves. And do you find that is one of the biggest challenges?
Well, I think that like I do a lot of like reparenting work and like inner child. Like, I mean, I could sit and like my mom said, I'm the love therapist or whatever. But a lot of times I have people come to me, and if I say something like, oh, I see your worth, they don't experience that. They don't feel it. That is so different from what they might have been told, that like, so I can't actually start off like that. Right. How it starts off is just by creating the safe space and for giving them a place. And then it's like a hard road to get people to come into loving themselves.
I know. Tell me about it.
I mean, it is.
I still work on it. And I'm doing, a lot of work since I'm 30. It is.
And I had very loving parents and nurturing, and I still had to go through a very long road of not loving myself. Right.
And you know, the other thing is like when you say, because, you know, people will say, how do I love myself? How do I love myself? Because again, you were talking about if they come from this program, right, from their families, where
Hey!
There she is.
Yeah. We just said, Natalie just said
Oh.
you were a cliffhanger.
How frustrating. Can
You
you
did it, Jules.
You got
I'm
here.
sitting there. How do you work this thing? Oh
Without
no,
me,
my worst
you did it.
nightmare. I did it.
The
You
shadow
did.
of it all. It comes
You
out
did.
all the time.
Well, Mom, I was just telling them, I told them how I kind of saved you, and then in return, like, then I had the similar thing, and then I was like lying to you about it, and then how one of my biggest healing things was finally being able to share with you about it, and how we have had this just beautiful relationship since then about being like open and honest about it.
Well, the beautiful part is along with that, many lessons. But you asked me what was the great. I said, well, it was the fact that I went to my clients and I told them the truth. I need to go away for a while. If you want me to refer you to somebody else, please let me know. And, I didn't lose a client during that time. They all said, we're glad to know you're human and that you're normal. And so what I learned is never to be ashamed of who I was and tell the truth. And no matter what, I would have been okay. And it was just magnificent that I because of that, I've walked a walk with clients where I'm not afraid to tell them my story or anything or where I struggled. And in fact, I was sharing with one of my grandchildren today about what it was like for me as a teen and some of the struggles that I had. And I wished that I had had a counselor or a therapist or a coach or anybody that would have helped me navigate through those tough times. So that's what made me, I guess my greatest lesson is I'm teaching what I love the most, which is I never had a safe place to share in my home or in school or wherever. And that it is possible to have that. And there are those who will walk that way through with you, whoever that is. And, and I guess with Debbie Ford, I guess the biggest thing she gave me, I always used to say, I teach couples how to have fabulous relationships. Where's mine? That's like, okay, God. And what I've recognized is my life has been about learning to be with myself and being okay just the way I am alone. And I'm never alone unless I truly want to know that, I have everyone's a call away, whatever it is. And then my own inner self is right there. So that's the thing I've really learned, that it's okay to be just where I am. And God always provides. And my life is abundantly wonderful. Are there challenges? Of course, there's always challenges, especially aging and dealing with that. But it's just such a gift to be here with all of you, because we all walk that walk with Debbie and with our friends, with our other people that we watch walking really hard roads to find themselves. And we're going to be there, all of us, for each other and for the world. And I think that's what your whole journey is, both of you as a mother and daughter. What are you? To stand up together. I think that's what we've always learned. And there are people out there, you just have to find them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the looking stage now.
Create new people, because where you are is different than where you were, and you can't go back. So you create new people for where you are, because it doesn't always work out like that. I remember Debbie saying, you can't take everybody with you, but the ones you can take are the ones that are your people that are going to be there. And then the other ones, it's okay.
True.
It's just part of growing.
And Alicia, I know so much of what you did for Natalie as her coach, and your mother I've gotten to know and love so well. But what's really wonderful is what Natalie has taught me. I still cannot put a bathing suit on and not have to go through these, looking at my body, oh my goodness, and walking out or whatever and feeling comfortable and whatever. I look at her, she's taught me so much. She said to me once, she has this prom dress, or this dress from middle school. She absolutely loved it. And I remember her telling me that some guy or somebody said to her, why would you put that on again and let people know that, one time in your life that, you were heavy or whatever. And I remember her saying, I'm going to absolute show them. If he doesn't accept me, how I, whoever I am, I said, then that's not who I want to be with. It's like, I'm not ashamed of it. And I went, oh my God, I want to have what she walks in the world with, that ability to get on that website and laugh and to say, I feel chunky today. I feel this, but you know what? I love myself. And she plays that Bette Midler song that, you know, I am beautiful. And I have learned so much from her.
Yeah.
You know, everything that I've taught her, she's a model for me too. And that is possible between mothers and daughters.
Yes.
And that is my goal. I love working with teens and their mothers or their dads, you know, and watching them create relationships built out of heaven, really. And it can be done, you know, and they're going to be struggles.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Nothing
Always.
Yeah.
Hey, you're so cute, mommy.
So I have a question.
That's great.
Whoever wants to answer it, if you were going to give someone the best advice in life, what would it be?
Jules?
Very easy for me.
But
Find a mentor
Yeah.
that you trust and let them walk your journey with you.
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. I
That's
just got the
beautiful.
chills
Me
all
too.
over. Yeah.
I believe children, and I wish all parents would allow their children, like my parents are, to have, I don't call myself a therapist. I'm a mentor. I'm Miss Julie. They call me as if whoever I am to them, but it's like this is just who I am. But I believe that all children need someone other than the parents to listen to and to get guidance from and feel safe to be able to share anything with. Because a lot of times you'll share things with other people that sometimes you don't share with your parents. And so I would say that for all people, it's like, you know, it's very difficult if you don't have someone walk with you as you try to find yourself and to be with yourself for the rest of your life. And it's so great when you have somebody that you can share anything with and they'll be honest and truthful to you, or they'll teach you something new that you can do. I think we all need someone.
That is so true.
A group. It doesn't, I go to a women's group, you know, just for my own balance and peace. And it's they're like soul sisters to me. You know, it's like, we've got to find somewhere, you know, that we can walk together, which is what you are all about.
Yeah.
We heal together. We find peace, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that mine would be very similar in just finding, like, especially right now, just like find a therapist, find a coach. I tell my clients who are in couples, like that are even in like good couples, go see a couples counselor, have sessions, even if you're not in crisis. Right. Like
why wait?
Yes, just find ways to communicate with each other. Like, you have baggage, they have baggage, come together, know their baggage so you can look out and like appreciate each other. And I have been so gifted that I've had so many mentors, and I've had the same therapist for, since really like what I call like fucked up Natalie. She was so nice. She was lovable. She was a mess. I've had the same therapist since then that I have been seeing on and off for the past, 15 years. And it's such a cool journey. And I just think of like and now I'm going to get to have that too, where I'm going to have people coming back to see me. It's such a special relationship if you can find someone that's good. And then my other piece of advice would be to dance. I think that everybody should dance. Like just go out and dance. Dance in your bedroom. It is so healing. It has been one of the most healing things for me, and being able to do it sober and to connect with that part of me, it's been a game changer for my life. And
you love the dance.
And I have to share something with that. She says dance. I just am working with a mother and 2 daughters, and and I've been working with them for years, and the daughter's now in college, it's amazing, and the mother's in recovery. And I'm going to tell you, the daughter was struggling with anxiety about flying a plane. She's becoming a pilot, and And one of the things I told her, and Natalie's the one that introduced me to it, and she asked me to go to the laughter yoga training. And I said, oh, why? Why not? Why not go and get another certification? And I thought it was going to be simple. Oh, my goodness. To let yourself just laugh. And, you know, and wherever. So when this girl was sharing with me, what can I do? I said to her, I said, well, this is what your homework is. You're to go in the shower each morning, and for a minute or two, you're to, if you're happy, if you're sad, and whatever it is, and, you know, or just, ha, 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 or honor yourself, ha, 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 because the body doesn't know the difference between synthetic and real laughter. But laughter yoga is actually the highest form that deals with depression, deals with grief, deals with anything. And so I would tell people, you need to laugh. And so I told her before she got in the plane to do all of these, whatever the checks she had to do, start laughing. And she thought I was crazy. So she and her mother sent me a video back of them laughing just like I did. And I said, it's working. It's what they were like. The mother was saying, like, I'm going to be late for work today. I may not even make the plane today. Laugh, dance, and laugh with
love
fun.
it. I love
You know,
it.
it's like when you laugh, your face hurts
Yeah.
because that's like the good laugh when your face is killing
Yes.
you because you're laughing so hard.
And who do I laugh at the most? My own
That lady-
daughter.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that lady makes me laugh.
I feel the same way about her. Okay, so one more question, and then we'll end with our another beautiful thing from Debbie's book, Your Holiness. So here's another question for each of you. What advice would you give to your youngest self? We'll end in that question because that's a great one, right? What advice would you give to your youngest self?
There are no rules, and you're perfect just the way you are. And you've always been perfect. You can't do wrong. There is no wrong. There's only lessons to learn and choices to make. But it's literally just accept all the good and the bad and the ugly because they're all beautiful.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yes.
Nat?
I guess I would tell my younger self that you know, things are gonna get tough, but like also in that toughness are like just so many beautiful moments. And that like in the hard stuff is when you just you're gonna find yourself and you are gonna be so awesome. Just trust in that, you know, when you're and also maybe stay away from the Jägermeister a little bit. And wear sunscreen.
Take a shot of orange juice
Yes.
without anything in it, just orange juice.
Yeah.
So before we end, how can people get a hold of both of you?
Right. And then I know Nim puts it across, but
Did
share
she?
that. No,
Yeah.
but share it with each of us and the rest of the people that are listening
And that will
so they
listen.
can find you if they need you.
Right.
So who
Yeah.
wants-
Well, so my website is www.natalieconsidine.com. And I say to my younger self, one day you're going to be a therapist and you're going to have a website with your name on it. You're going to be in a podcast with your mom.
I love it.
Just wait.
Oh,
But so
God.
yeah, natalieconsidine.com. Hopefully at some point, you know, I'll start doing videos or doing something, but right now it's really just I have just client work and yeah.
Awesome. All right. And Julie, where can they find you?
Actually, I wear hearing aids.
Okay.
And I have learned in the world of computers, as you saw tonight, I can work a computer really great, but then if it's, it can also break down. So, but I got through it. I don't know how I got back on, but I did.
We're so
Just kept
proud.
pushing buttons. But I'm actually, the best way to get me is to send a text to me. To me, it's 561-758-4636. And it's my email is juliaoconsidine@gmail.com. But the easiest way is when you text me, you don't just call, you say, Julie, I'm so-and-so. I heard you on the podcast, or I would like to talk to you or have some information. I'd like to ask you whatever. And I'll always answer but you have to give me, I have to be able to see it because I don't hear the phones like I used to. So I really go to texts and emails. So it's been such a pleasure. You guys, I love you too. This has been so exciting. You know, we have the same kind of relationship with each other and together as mother and daughter friends.
Yes.
And this has been so special because I've always wanted, you know, to be on somewhere with Natalie like this because I so admire where she is. And I do believe we're a dynamic duo, just like you two are in our lives and what we teach other people through our relationships.
100%.
The dynamic foursome.
Yes, girls trip.
That's right, girl trip.
Really, we should be up dancing now.
And laughing with the yoga laugh.
You guys are coming to Florida.
Yeah.
November around the 16th.
Okay, just let us
plan
know.
something.
We definitely want to see you.
Okay, so we love you. We thank you.
We do so
Now
much.
is the icing on the cake by Debbie Ford. And here we go. So if you want to close your eyes and breathe it in, I'll read it. And just know that the love is coming through. So it's reclaiming your light. Dear God, goddesses, creator of all that is, today I close my eyes and invite into my consciousness, awareness, all the holy parts of myself that have been hidden from my sight. I affirm that it's safe to open up to my deeply spiritual essence, to discover the divine thread that connects me to everyone else, seen and unseen on the planet. I proclaim that it is safe to come face to face with my greatness, my gifts, my spiritual vastness, and my holiness. Today, God, grant me the courage to stand without apology in the presence of all my greatness. Give me the insight to reclaim the light that I've attributed to or projected onto others. Allow me to open up and see what's possible for humankind when I stand fully in the presence of my holiness. Support me, please, in being present to the importance of my own holy self. Wash away anything that's between me and the divine thread, my divine essence. Allow me to be humble enough to know that I have nothing to do with how divine I am. Today, dear God, allow all the light that I've transferred out into the world to people I know and to people I don't know, to people who are alive and to people who have passed, to return to me. Bring all the light right now back into me. Let me open my arms, my heart, to the uniqueness of my humanity and the magnificence of my divinity. Let me know the divine as myself.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Just breathe it in.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so delicious.
Yeah.
You know?
And, you know, it's so great to read from Debbie because, you know, I learned everything from her, right? So we've all learned a piece of ourselves through her. So when I read it, I think, you know, there she is, the holiness woman, right?
Yeah.
And it's just such a great reminder that we're all connected no matter what, past or not.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. She would love this right now. She
Oh,
would love what's happening right
she is.
here.
Well, she is out there.
She's here
watching.
right now, I'm sure. I'm sure she is. Going,
Yeah.
go girls.
Yeah, I know
Mhm.
that. I agree. Holy. Oh yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
She'd be like, why did it take you so long to get together already?
Yeah.
You
You
know?
You know what's really funny is when Natalie actually did have a little difficulty in seeing her alcohol. She asked me, and I said, "Well, I can't bail you out, but what I will do is I'll pay for you to go to take Debbie Ford's shadow process. Well, yes, she did. And the ironic thing is, several years later, I was going through some tough times. She said, Mom, I have a suggestion for you. I said, what is that? And she said, well, go back and do Debbie Ford's shadow. What? Go back and do it? Yes, Mom. What would you tell me? And you know, it's the best thing I ever did to go back again and to redo it at that point of my life when I was in shambles again. And she helped me put my life back together again. So thank you for that from you, Natalie. And thank you to Debbie. Really.
Yeah.
And you know, when we were assisting, all of a sudden out of nowhere, she'd say, okay, I want you in the process.
Right. I mean, it could be no matter what. She just, okay, enough of you. Go in.
I want you to get in there. So it's, you know.
And it was always great, you know, to redo and do. And, you know, it's part of the work, right? For all of us.
Yeah.
To just
absolutely.
Shine. Yeah.
It's constant shining. We got to keep shining the light through this world.
Boy, do we ever.
Get out your polish.
Yep.
You got, I got my fire on. My fireplace has light.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Well, we love you guys.
Love you. Thank you for having us. This is so cool.
We're so grateful to you guys. And when you come here, call us, please.
Yes, please. We're going to get
We definitely will.
Yes.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
I'll do the theater. Together we rise.